What up? It's that time of year. It is draft season. It's kind of been draft season, but it's just day one draft season. For us, we are back again for season 2 of the Commanders draft show, which every week, every Sunday, we're going to be breaking it down. Position groups with players that fits our scheme. Last year, we didn't have the opportunity. We didn't know what scheme were we running. This year, we have a better idea of the schemes that we run. So all the draft picks that you see here, remember, unless it's an off-ball conversation you want to talk about, but most of it's going to apply to who will fit our team. You have to remember that, who's going to fit our team. And returning, DT is back. Kyle, the Podfather, is back. And we're going to have special guests that's going to fill that full spot throughout the year. NFL draft analysts and other analysts are going to fill that spot. Can't wait for that. But welcome, buckle up, another season of the Commanders Draft Show.
Yeah, man, people ask that question all the time, man. But look, I was born into this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bleed Berkeley and gold. I bleed DC. This is my home. This is my squad. Regardless of all the name changes and all that, man, it's Berkeley and gold for me. It's DC. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm here, man. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. Do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.
Welcome back, Commanders Draft. So what it do? What is good? Kyle, what's up, man? Been a while, man. Been a while. How you been, buddy?
It's been great, man. You know, it's draft season, baby, like Wedding Crashers style, ready to get back into the fold and talk about these prospects. Because like you said earlier, this is a different time around, and we kind of know with one draft class in the rearview mirror, we can kind of see a little bit better, but maybe be able to predict something, what they're able to do.
DT, how you been, man?
Everything's been good, man. My favorite time of the year. Outside of real physical football season, but it's good to be back on the show again with Kyle and Deuce and many other guests we're going to have on the show. This is going to be a very fun season because you want to know why, people? We got a quarterback.
Yes, indeed. Shout out Radar. He's in the building. He's kind of like our backdoor guy on the show. Yeah,
Pause.
relax, Kyle. Relax.
Pause. We're starting out great.
Yeah, man. That he helped us in the back door. Shout out to Adam, who's taking a year off. That was with us last year. We're definitely going to miss him. And I just want to put it. What's up, Kayla? I just want to put it out there, bro. Like, I mean, Jaden Daniels, Mikey Sainristil, Ben Sinnott. I mean, I think we hit on all three of those. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to brag or nothing, Kyle, but I mean, you know.
That's what last year was kind of crazy seeing that. You know, we had this conversation with you, Deuce, about Jatavian Sanders and having him Ben Sinnott ranked over Jatavian. And obviously Washington went out and agreed with us in that sort of sense. I wish we could have seen more out of Ben Sinnott, but obviously they used him where he needed to. And it wasn't like they needed to lean on him in any regard because I think Zach Ertz went above and beyond what, like, obviously we all knew that he was going to be the go-to for Jaden when things broke down. But still, I think some of the catches he made were so huge this season. It sucks that we're talking draft now, but you know what, man? Regardless, even if they won the Super Bowl, we'd sitting here talking about the draft at this point. But what a season, especially for those young rookies.
Man. Mother J, this is my godmother. Thank you so much. I like, to be honest, Mom, I didn't know you watched. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
That's good, man. That's good.
But yeah, absolutely. Like, it means a lot, Mother J. It means a lot, man. Yeah, man. I remember my mom. I got into a real bad accident. Some people died, and my sister was a newborn. She got thrown in the trunk. It was a whole lot, and
Whoa.
I had to go, and I went to go. While my mom recovered, I went to go stay with my godmom. Took me to school every day, and that was cool, right? Because I never like I always caught the bus, but when I was
Right.
staying with them, I was getting dropped off and picked up. Like I felt big time, you know what I'm saying? A shout out to Mama J. All right, so like we're gonna get right into it. What we're gonna do today, we're gonna do grades from the rookies from last year, kind of tie in last year, into this year as we move forward. We're gonna give grades to all of the rookies, and then we're gonna talk about quarterbacks and kickers. Yes, kickers. I don't want to draft the kicker, but if we keep those 3 7th and one of those guys that we talk about is there, hey, I'm willing to pull a trigger on the kick in the 7th round, right? But we're going to get into all of that. But before we go, let's talk about the hottest topic in the draft. Kyle and I was kind of talking about it a little bit before the show started about Cam Ward and Shooter. I call him Shooter, Shador Sanders. And I was telling Kyle, for me, when it comes to them two, I think Cam Ward took the biggest jump from last year to this year. I think Cam Ward took the biggest jump, but Shooter was ahead of him last year, right? So I think the differences between the two, which is kind of funny because let's be honest, both are black quarterbacks, right? But one can maneuver outside the pocket and one is more of a pocket passer. So there's a preference. But only team I think that's willing to move capital to move up for either one of those guys is the Raiders, and that's for Shador Sanders. Kyle, what do you think?
I think you're probably on par with that. I think the Raiders, they want to sell tickets, right? And I think that's the kind of name that you want to bring in. I will say that I think Shador is really like it's funny because you see glimpses of where you're like, okay, well, he's patient to the point where he's not forcing things, but he's able to break down the field. He's very good on the run, which almost
Mhm.
gives you like not Aaron Rodgers esque, but that kind of playmaking ability on the move to be able to make things happen for you. But Cam Ward, I think, is like the complete build of what you're kind of looking for in a quarterback, if you really are. And I think him going into Miami was probably the best decision for him going in this draft class. Because, Deuce, you and I kind of talked about if you were to compare these rookies with last year's rookie class, where would you be ranking these guys? And I think it's very easy to say that I would put like Cam Ward at 6, Shooter at 7,
Mhm.
and then go down the list because like obviously this year's class is not as strong as last year's, but I think Cam Ward is above and beyond. Like his velocity, the plays that he makes happen. I sent Deuce my film breakdown of a couple of Cam Ward's throws, and
Mhm.
they're absolutely incredible.
What's your feeling on the two, DT?
Yeah, I completely agree. When you look at how historic all the things done with last year's draft class, with Jada Daniels, with Bo Nix, even guys like Drake May and Caleb Williams still having a solid season despite how the team went. Them guys will probably be, 6 or 7 for 8, depending on how people feel about the other guys, second tier, third tier guys. But the conversation right now between Shador Sanders and Cam Ward, I think it's pretty simple. Really, in my opinion, and probably you guys' opinion, those are arguably really the best quarterbacks to see in this class. When you look at mental makeup, when you look at processing, when you look at making elite throws from hash mark to hash mark, those two dudes got it. Now, obviously, they both have different games. Cam
Mhm.
Ward is the prototypical quarterback in today, the ability to improvise and make the crazy throws. But then here's the thing about Shador. A lot of people going to knock Shador about not having elite arm talent, not having elite mobility. But one thing that Adam Peters told a lot of people when he drafted Brock Purdy, why do you draft Brock Purdy and how he's so successful? He's the best at quarterbacking. That's why I believe, in my opinion, when you look at a guy like Shador, he has everything to be an NFL quarterback. So
Mhm.
don't be surprised he's able to do things already at a natural ability in the NFL.
And I will say that when he's like under pressure, Shador seems to not be at his best, so to speak. And
Yeah.
so at the next level, like because at Colorado, it's kind of you could kind of control things a little bit more. In the NFL, you're going to be put in those pressured situations, and so I think seeing more out of Shador in that sort of sense is what's going to kind of bring people down a little bit. But dude, I'm telling you, this kid Cam Ward, the plays that he does make, even outside of structure and inside of structure. He like sees the field really well. That I highlight a little bit here. He's exceptional. This play right here
Definitely gets a good front too.
resets his shoulders to be able to locate that guy at the back of the end zone. I said in the last tweet in there, I almost see Russell Wilson 2.0 here. And just the way that he's able to extend the play, and he's very good at keeping his eyes downfield. You'll notice that when he spins out of this, he's not looking to run. He's looking to see where's the open guy, where can I make something happen, and resets and then just shoots.
Because he could make something happen. Like
Yeah.
he could have had an opportunity to pick up a few right there, no doubt. But I also think that's similar to Sanders in a sense, right? Where he's not really looking to like get downfield, like run with the ball. Like he's always looking to throw the ball, and that can also be negative on his part because he holds the ball so long.
Yes, absolutely. And the one thing about him is that this accuracy right here, being able to put that ball right above the cornerback's helmet. I mean, you're talking about the in structure, being able to see the man coverage and putting this ball right over the top of the helmet for the wide receiver, the only place he can catch it. And then you see that there's not much separation there. Sorry, DT.
Oh no, you good. I'm also going to mention just even at that instance, look at the slight ability to look that safety off to give that time to make that throw. He has the arm talent to do it, but also I think when you look at Shador, he could do the same thing. I think honestly, man, I kind of feel bad for some of these teams that are kind of quarterback needy because I mean, like you're going to talk yourself up with a Jackson Dart who, he has some interesting characteristics, but he also has some things probably got to work on as well. It's going to be interesting to see how this process goes for the, I believe probably the first 6 picks. Obviously, the Raiders are going to need a quarterback. They didn't get an opportunity to draft a guy like Penix or JJ McCarthy. The Giants had an opportunity to draft a quarterback.
They passed on both of them.
And they took
I asked you all this, and then we're going to get into it. If the Giants wasn't willing to take a Penix or McCarthy, Ben, as though we think they are better prospects than Shooter and Cam Ward, what makes us think they're going to choose them?
That's a really good argument because you're going to say that their time was last year, but pressure in case of Schoen, like what is the relationship like with ownership to the point where how comfortable is he? Like if he has to make something happen, I could maybe see them, to your point, going down the route of drafting one of those quarterbacks like Cam Ward to the point of saying maybe we could get a Jaden Daniels type of performance with the team and that way to garner more years and maybe some more confidence with ownership. But we don't know how that goes.
It's gonna be funny, man, because they the ones with only ones that kind of kept their staff together out of those teams that need quarterbacks, right? So like Mars gonna have to make a decision. Am I gonna let these guys pick the quarterback of the future? Because if they pick one of them, they're guaranteed to be there next year. Sean and Daboll is not. Then whoever you bring in are they gonna like those players, right? Are they gonna look at those guys as their franchise quarterback?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough, but
and here's God, that's nasty. Here's the thing also as well. When you have past 2 years, when you have a guy like CJ Stroud having a crazy rookie year, and then to follow up with a Jaden Daniels having a historic year as a rookie starting quarterback, those expectations, these people gonna have to set them because you're not going to be walking into the same situations like what Washington did to set up Jaden Daniels for success. Jaden had a lot to do with it, but also give credit due to Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, what they did to establish around the roster. Me personally, from what I've seen on all season Hard Knocks, I don't see nothing that Joe Schoen has done to really surround
That's
him.
why we not having Joe. That's why we not having another offseason Hard Knock.
I don't see nothing like that outside of Elite Neighbors, honestly.
Oh well. What's up, Tim? I don't even know all the names like I normally would, but I just want Commanders.
Yes, sir.
Yep. What up, though? Like JD5, Sainristil, Coleman, solid. Jury out on a few. Got my eye on Adam. Is he the truth? This coming from a Lions fan. You always got your eye on something. Cuddy, what's good, Cuddy? I'm just glad we are not in the quarterback market this year. Truth. Chris, I think it might be your first time commenting. Appreciate you. Continue to do so. What do you guys think about Will Johnson from Michigan? Pair him with Mikey in the backfield. May he join in late? Don't know if he has been brought up. No, we didn't talk about that, but we are going to talk about him when we do go over the cornerbacks, which is going to be in a few weeks. But yeah, I mean, how you guys feel about Will Johnson? Just to answer Christian's question.
Do you know his measurables? If Radar is there, maybe you could give them out to us. I know it's gonna be hard for Radar, this being a Michigan guy, but
it's hard for me too. I'm like y'all talk.
But
yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
All I'll say is like
code.
Like the cornerback position's hard in this, especially for this draft class, because like you could make an argument that Noah Igbinogi did a very good job, and he deserves to be brought back, right? But then it gets into the cap space, how much he wants to return for, and everything like that. But like even so, you still traded for Marshawn Lattimore. So how much assets are you willing to, especially high value ones, to be able to add into the corner room? And so maybe if that's a guy that's sitting there around that fifth round, that you could go and grab for you, then do it. But we also have to take into consideration like the third rounder, that's Phillies. So that's going to be like basically a fourth round pick. And so we do have to go into this draft class knowing that these are going to be later in the rounds, and we're going to be having to, and that's what the good thing is about having a good quarterback, because now you can just surround them with people and they're going to rise to the occasion. They're going to help them develop.
Yeah, this is a good point, Henry. Them planning the SEC in a bit, like it wasn't nothing lights out, right? Like, I mean, we all know. Like, I don't know, man. It's this is why I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of movement, especially for. I think it might be more movement for Travis Hunter than both of these quarterbacks.
Oh yeah.
So
unless it comes to our pick at 29, and if somebody like that is sitting there and they are willing to want to come up and get that fifth year option on that contract and wants to trade back up into the first round to move a couple spots, that's that position that Washington could be in with these like kind of quarterbacks, I think.
Well, we're open. I know that for sure, because I know Adam want more picks. I would definitely draft the kicker Zavada from Michigan in 26 draft. It's so hard for these OSU guys. They can't even call them their names. Like in the group chat, Radar say the cornerback from Michigan. Like you only say Sainristil name. Y'all just some horrible people, DT.
You should get that jersey for Radar. Just get him the Mikey 0 Sainristil jersey.
He probably won't wear it.
Just get it for him. Have it, frame it, and send it to him.
Hey, look, I got another name for it, but I can't say that. But I ain't trying to mess your algorithm. So.
Here we go. All right, so let's get into some grades from the players from last year. Y'all want to start from
start from the bottom.
Okay. Just to keep in mind, this is our pick so far. We have 7 picks. We have the 29th pick in the first round, 61st in the second, 79th in the third, 148th in the fifth. We have 3 7th round picks, 197, 207, and 2 31. And the Michigan guy says Sainristil is the best pick of the year. Go blue. Good things come from the state of Michigan.
Well, you could argue that Jaden Daniels
Yeah.
probably was, but
All right, so let's start here. Let's start here with Jordan McGee and Tyler Owens. Let's start with you, Cal. Let's do McGee first around the room, and then we'll come back to Tyler Owens.
I was gonna say Tyler is unfortunately like the undrafted free agent, probably takes the cake there. With Jordan McGee, you just didn't see enough of him. Obviously he was hurt majority of the year. Hopefully he was able to use a lot of that as mental time, mental reps, being able to talk to Bobby Wagner and Ken Norton. I know that he contributed on special teams. I think a lot of his snap count came from there, and he was able to get some tackles and be impactful. But I think all year the special teams really was a huge part and identity of what Washington's like MO was in arriving violently. And so I don't think that there's anything like poor to say about Jordan McGee, except for the fact of we need to see more to have a better reaction.
DT.
Yeah, when we saw these guys in training camp, we saw a lot of hype, them getting a lot of playing time, some snaps in first team and things like that. But unfortunately, really for McGee, I believe he really had a true opportunity to split some time, even with Bobby Wagner. But unfortunately, the injury came at the wrong time, and once he came back in, he never really got integrated into the game plan. So he just played on special teams. Tyler Owens, shout out to him for making a roster last year. A surprise undrafted free agent. We saw how athletic and built he is. Hopefully, he gets some more playing time as well, I believe, in some type of packages. But to be honest with you, I'll definitely give them. I'm gonna be very generous, give them a C, only because they didn't really get a true opportunity to flash whatsoever, especially McGee, from all the things we've seen in training camp.
Yeah, for McGee, it's really incomplete, and it's it's a sad thing because he got a lot of hype in training camp. I mean, from former NFL players, and one of them was London Fletcher. Shout out to the Hall of Fame committee for not doing their jobs, but London Fletcher, right? Like he was really high on Jordan McGee. I mean, to be honest, I think Jordan McGee being hurt is the reason why somebody like 52 was on the roster as long as he was, right?
Yeah.
Because if you notice, as soon as McGee kind of came back is when they started making a move, to releasing him. But I think he has all of the measurables. It's an incomplete. I'm looking forward to see what he can do next year. Tyler Owens, special teams, man. Like he got 15 tackles, 4 solo. That's big, being as though because we have some great special team guys, and for him to stand or to get that many tackles, I think is great for him. So I definitely think he's in the mix moving forward.
I think they deserve an A for bringing him in as an undrafted free agent. For what, not obviously his stats don't pop out to the point where you say it's something, but when you would watch the all 22, I mean, they'd be dedicating 2 guys just purely to blocking Tyler Owens. And when you watch you see how big he is and how fast he is and how much of a problem. Like I honestly am perfectly comfortable with saying that I think Tyler Owens is going to be like a special teams ace for at least 5 years. And I feel really comfortable saying that. I don't know about in a starter role on defense, but with his size, dude, I'm really intrigued to see what his future is.
Yeah, I'm with you. How you feel about Owens, DT?
I love Owens, man. He was one of my favorite undrafted pickups as well. Special teams, hey, shoot, we might have a conversation. I might not go there though. Nah, I'm gonna say that.
Let the man get married.
Because some of y'all might get triggered. Y'all favorite.
Let the man get married first, DT.
Huh? Let the man get married first. Yeah, I'm letting him get married first, man.
Yeah. Christian says we need a true edge rusher. Our weakness this year was stopping the run. And do we go draft a running back or do we give Chris Rodriguez? I absolutely think we're drafting a running back. All right, so let's now. Okay, just looking at some of his tape, I think like I really like Baptiste.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
I really like Baptiste. 13 tackles, 4 solo, 1 sack, 8 stops. And a stop is not so much a tackle for loss. A stop is contributing or forcing a negative play from the offense. So that could be a run, that could be like a screen, that could be, whatever. It's something that gives the offense a neck. So you'll see us using that metric a lot this off season with stops. I think that's something that's kind of new within the analytics world of the NFL. But I think I like him. I like him. I like him a lot, Kyle.
Especially at where they got him at and such late in the draft. I think they would probably get like a C or a B here. With Javonte, when he was coming out, he wasn't a speed rusher. He was much more so of like a worker, whereas he would just be able to be consistent, continuously showing not motivation, but trying to be able to always impact the play. And that would result in something. And that's what you saw with his 1 sack that he had this year. I think that Christian is absolutely right. I've been beating this drum ever since last offseason, saying Joe Witt and company really benefited in Dallas with their defense of having such a great pass rush that it made opportunities and turnovers happen for them in the secondary. And I was saying, do we have that here in Washington? And that was one of my concerns. Dante Fowler did a great job, but was it consistent enough? Is my overall point. I do think that Christian is right that we're going to be putting some assets into it. I just question if it's going to be in free agency or through the draft. But I think Javonte is a guy you could feel comfortable with. I think that they would like get a C for it just based on what he's able to do for you. You feel comfortable with that depth.
Yeah, this is another guy that also had a weird injury during the season, but from all the times he was playing, he definitely flashed. There was definitely times where I was considering like, hey, let's give this guy some more snaps and over Khalif Farrell. Khalif Farrell was in more as a run defender, but he definitely shown the ability to stop the run and the ability to rush the quarterback. I can't wait for an expanded role this offseason. Even they will address edge rusher either by free agency trade or the draft. I still believe he's going to have a great opportunity on that front seven. Shout out to him. I'm definitely going to give him. I'll give him a C2 because I want to see him more. Honestly, I felt like I need to see him more. I do agree the pass rush was not consistent from some of the guys we have, even though Dante Fowler had 10 sacks and Luvu, he's a linebacker, but he also had 8 sacks.
Right, so I like him as well. Javonte plays solid. It just seems like he was one of those guys, man. It's like he's when he's in the game, it's like he's in the game. It's like you see him in the game. Luke McCaffrey, DT, 5 catches, 28 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. How you feeling about Luke McCaffrey, man?
Okay, so
his neck is wild.
Yeah,
yo, that neck is crazy. I
thought this was. I didn't think this was him at first. Like this angle is crazy.
Like he got hit, concussed, bro. Good gracious. Okay, so Luke, I felt like for what he was able to do, Luke was a role player in his first year. I think a lot of people were expecting, by looking at metrics, raw score, things like that, to be like the next Puka. But he definitely had a role in this offense. People got to remember, he's still learning how the nuances of being a wide receiver. He was a quarterback converted to wide receiver at Rice a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. So I still think there's some time for him, some opportunities. He is also a great kickoff returner. He's one of the reasons why we won the Eagles game. I believe he had like 168 total yards returning in that game. So I'm going to give him a C+. I think a lot of people had like crazy expectations of him. Me personally, I didn't, because I still saw, even with him as a third rounder, there were still some needs at the wide receiver spot. And we saw other guys really more like Zacchaeus and De'Ami Brown stepped up after Noah Brown got injured.
Kyle, what you think, Kyle?
It's really unfortunate with Luke, because with Jaden Daniels really blowing just being like a wildfire on the NFL, where really captivating everyone, and with such a great offensive attack to the point where even your draft pick at wide receiver, where a position where you're considered to be thin at, can't be able to produce a big numbers for you, at least in some sort of sense, right? And that's like the unfortunate part with Luke, is that you'd like to see more based on the situation that he's in. But I think that DT did a really good job of saying that he was probably our best kick returner besides Austin Eckler in the times that he missed. But Luke was really a difference maker in that regard. So glad that he was able to get the ball in his hands. But I think if you're being honest, you have to give them a C- at best for the pick. And just in terms of where you drafted him at, and you had the quarterback to distribute, but yet somehow there was a disconnect. And I think that that's probably deserving of the C-.
Yeah, I agree, and it was, and I think not only the hype about his bloodline, but everything that we heard in the off season and during training camps, like him and Jaden is always there together. They working out together. They doing all this stuff together. And then the season come and Jaden act like he like, nah, like I seen this dude the whole summer. I ain't.
He said, Luke, who?
And then we get all these metrics that he's so wide open. He has so much separation. It's like those two things to me, it never added up.
Who's this Luke guy?
Right. Woo, Kyle, before you get out of here, I definitely want you to talk about Coleman.
Here we go.
At first, when the selection was made, I was kind of pissed off with it because there was one guy I didn't really look at last season. But after being able to watch him a little bit and seeing that he played through an injury and played at tackle and guard as well, like I think that it kind of warmed up on me. And this year, I thought they had a really good plan going in with what they wanted to do with Brandon Coleman, substituting him and Cornelius Lucas. A lot of people, it scratched like a lot of our heads to the point where like, does anybody else rotate linemen during games? And it's not really something that's normal. But I think that they did a good job all year. I think Coleman starting in the NFC Championship game and how he produced in the look, I think that we have to be honest with, yes, he had a bad NFC Championship game, but he was also playing injured. And I think that we do have to take that into consideration. We could still say we want to see more out of Brandon Coleman at left tackle and that he could be the future just given with his size and talent ability and just raw athleticism. But I also would be truthful about it that he was playing nicked up and it wasn't his best football at that point. And we all, like I said it on Twitter, like when he was doing that workout, I think it was before the Tampa Bay game, or no, it was Detroit game, where he's like waddling on the sideline. It looks like he's going to the bathroom. You could tell that he's just like working out his injury. And I think that they deserve a B for it, given with what round it was, how hard it is to find a starting left tackle and to find somebody that came in and wasn't like bad all season. They played him a lot, and it wasn't like he was a liability all year. I think they deserve a B for it.
Yeah, Brandon makes a good point about Jade and Luke. That was so confusing about how much time they worked together that he missed them a few times, which was odd. But
because of his neck, he's like, oh,
yeah.
Yes, Brandon Coleman, the one topic in a couple of group chats. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Brandon Coleman. He also, a lot of our picks had injuries, which is kind of crazy. He was one of those guys that got, believe, injured in camp.
Yes.
And when he got into regular season games, they started to do the split with Cornelius Lucas. And then, so we were having a hard time trying to at least find those snaps of, okay, when did Lucas get in? When did Coleman get in? So I believe it wasn't until really week 10-ish or somewhere in the middle of the season, he finally got a chance to actually stay in the game.
I think it was the Saints game.
The Saints game?
I think
Lucas got hurt.
Game.
Yeah. Coleman got hurt too. Coleman got hurt like the week before, I think.
Oh yeah. My bad. Sorry.
So with Coleman, he has flashed. He definitely flashed, and there's some games where he does not look good, but I think that's okay. He is a rookie left tackle going up against the likes of a Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons. Like, he was going against pass rushers this year, and there were games where those guys didn't do anything. and there are some games where other guys they got theirs. So despite all that, if we want to be completely honest with you, he might have been the second best left tackle as a rookie from this class with Joe Alt.
When Joel started at right tackle, he wasn't even a left.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And Fuaga started at left tackle the whole year.
And that's what I was saying with our guys in the one podcast we did was like it's really hard to get a starting left tackle in the draft. Like I don't think everyone really understands. Like even I remember getting in arguments with people in January last year saying that Joe Alt was better than Olu Fashanu, and everyone was telling me that Olu was going to be a generational left tackle prospect, and I don't think he even started.
I think he got benched when they moved him at guard at some points. Yeah.
It's hard, man. And I think that's what just that reality alone, I think DT's right. Like you have to give them credit for what they did here. I mean, they found a starter.
Yeah, he can play. I think that's the biggest thing. This dude can play in the NFL. And with all the questions about what they're gonna do, if they find it's hard to find a tackle.
Yeah.
But if they find one, okay. You're not really making a hole. You're gonna strengthen the offensive line if he can play guard. But I want to give him another shot at left tackle, and let's see him develop. Let's see him improve. And he improved. Hey, you hit something. Like you really hit and found a starting left tackle in the third round with a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, if they do decide to bring something in, I don't want no competition. I don't want no doubt. Whoever you bring in is LT1. Like, don't tell me he's going to, battle with Coleman because
I agree.
Then you wasting time. He should just win and go get a guard, right? Like, so I'm good, and you can't say Trent Williams around here. People, you compare him.
Oh my God.
His rookie year was horrible. So a lot of the people that want to compare rookie years, I guess y'all wanted to move Trent the guard too. And yes, that is a shot. You know who you are. Ben Sinnott. Kyle. Actually, Kyle, I'm gonna let you do the last couple ones before you gotta go. The man DT will come back.
I got you. Ben Sinnott, I think that it's probably a C on that. Like you got the one garbage touch. Look, I'm not gonna say garbage, it was his first touchdown, but it was just it was a good touchdown for Ben Sinnott. But like besides that, like it was more so like with blocking. And he struggled a little bit in the blocking scheme. And like I said this when he was coming out, the best time that he was blocking, we talked about this last year, where it's when he's moving into the block. If you're doing a prototypical, just normal pass set where you're set as a tight end off the left tackle and you have to go block, he struggles with those. But if he's like the lead blocker in while moving, you saw this, I think, on the Jaden Daniels touchdown.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it was where like you kind of see him. That's at his strength right there. But I think that a C, just because look, I'm not going to blame it on Zach Ertz, but it wasn't like we needed to. I guess that's the best case scenario if you truly want to say that. But I think a C probably.
Okay, and I think I mixed up Luke McCaffrey stats with Ben Sinnott's, but that's okay. Sainristil.
This is an A+, dude. Look, I wasn't huge on I didn't watch Mikey before Adam brought him up. I remember Adam being the first guy, and hearing all the backstory on him was incredible. From wide receiver in 1 year at Michigan, it really impressed you. This was, I think, really speaking, because I was early on the train of saying I think we should move Mikey outside, and the reason why I saw that early on the season is because teams were running at us when they would put Mikey skinny like in the box. And they would run at Mikey. Just because of Mikey's literal natural body size, it's easier to run block him with somebody that weighs over 250 pounds. And so I thought that it would be smarter to move him outside. And the way that he responded, I don't think a lot of us were expecting that. I think maybe we were expecting like the Jamar Chase kind of game that he had against Cincinnati.
Yeah, I thought that was going to, yeah.
But he really blossomed into something special out there on the outside. And a lot of credit to Mikey and how hard he worked because he found a home out there, dude. I wouldn't even move him inside. I think his production alone and what he offered to this defense, especially at a position where they had to go trade for, I think it says a lot about Mikey in first professional year moving outside and performing like he did in some big games, mind you. Like that one-on-one matchup against the Eagles the second time, that was some pro stuff, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he could play.
Jerzon Newton.
I say Johnny gets a B minus, and I would say B minus because of because he came into the year injured, and like DT said, it was really weird how many injuries we had to our rookies this year.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like,
yeah, he's right. But given the fact of if you were told that we were going to lose John Allen early on in the season for the season, I think we all would have expected the run defense to suffer like it did. But I think that with how many games they were able to win and how the defense was able to step up when they needed to, I think because of how many snaps he played, I think that he deserves the B moniker. Just because if you're drafting somebody in the top end of the second round, they need to be able to start and contribute and at least produce for you. And Johnny certainly did that. He made a lot of flash plays all over the field. And I think that he's somebody that definitely deserves it, even without having camp, really.
Yeah, I just think this offseason is going to be real big for him getting that weight room.
Yeah,
because sometimes he got pushed back 3 or 4 yards. So this NFL strength is a little different than in college. Next week, Cows is about to jet out. Next week we're doing safeties and D tackles. Well, I don't know. We might get a D tackle. Depends how many safety because. Like I really think we need a true free safety, that ball hawk type guy.
Can I do Jaden before I go?
Oh, I forgot. Oh, I don't know how I forgot.
I was just forgetting that he's a draft pick now.
I absolutely forgot.
I mean, like, I'll be honest with you. Leading up, like when we talked about this originally, Deuce, last year in January, I remember you asking me what I thought, and I thought Penix was very high up there with what I saw on film. I thought Jaden was up there. I thought Bo Nix was. I actually was not on the Bo Nix on the Drake May train early on. But once we got closer to the draft, I think what really bugged me out was just the hits that Jaden took and how thin he was. And I thought like it was more of a long-term type of thing, but obviously I was wrong. But I will say this was absolutely the best possible pick that Washington could have honestly made, because like you could bring up the VR aspect of what Jaden did, but unless you have a person that is willing to put in the time, it is humble enough to be able to continue working hard and using that to sharpen a craft. It's different being told to have to go use the VR rather than doing it willingly, voluntarily, because you want to get better. That shows a special person. And given with what the coaching staff has here and what they're trying to build in the first year, there is honestly, for Washington, I don't care what anyone else has to say. This was an absolute slam dunk, and you could not. You can't be happier, because the one thing you wanted to be concerned about with Jaden was the injuries. And even with how much he ran and how many hits he did take, he didn't see that a lot of time missed. And I think that says a lot about Jaden as a man.
Yeah. I mean, in college too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So.
And look, he took a lot of huge hits in college, and I even myself highlighted it and talked about it. It's like, that's bad, not a good thing. He made a point to limit that this year, and he did a very good job. As much as people like to talk crap, like on social media, make these tweets like, oh, Jaden looks like he gets in a car crash every time he's hit. That happened like in a 17-game season. It only happened maybe one hand count. So he did
and
it
was
very
early in the year too, because when he
Yeah.
came back from that rib injury, he was definitely running out of bounds.
Dude, I think the kid is incredible, and I hope he continues to work hard and just be who he is, because you would imagine that being that good, doing all that, getting the NFC Championship game, it would get to your head a little bit.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like that with this team in this quarterback. I think you can't say anything bad about it, honestly. We're in heaven at this point.
I agree. All right, Kyle, I'll see you next week, buddy.
All right, brother. My bad for getting out of here, guys. Enjoy your night. Appreciate you guys.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Let's go back to Newton, DT. What's up, Big Simp? Timothy said quadruple plus. Yeah. Like, so, like, I just did he do enough for Adam Peters to say, you know what, I'm going to trade you John Allen because I'm good. Or do you think the upside is there?
The upside is there. I don't think he has done enough, in my opinion, to get rid of Allen. But financially, we should get rid of Allen. But I think obviously the upside is what's tremendous. This guy was a top 15 player on Adam Peters' board. Really, the only weakness for him will be defending the run, especially going up against NFL caliber linemen. But we know he has pass rush ability. We saw him with his pressure rate go up consistently as the year gone along. Once he gets in that NFL room off season and gets stronger, training with Payne and Allen, I think we're going to see something. But I'm like Kyle. I'm gonna give him a B+ because we really didn't really miss a beat even when Allen was out. We start seeing the flashes, and I just think the more he plays in this rotation, or if they add another defensive tackle, I think the sky's the limit for Johnny Newton.
To be honest, like I think we're going to restructure John Allen, maybe a year or two, something like that, because like when you think about the money and being able to restructure and maybe extend them a year or two, this is the time to do it. When your quarterback goes on a rookie deal, you don't have a whole lot of outlandish deals. I mean, you have the room to keep them, right? But I think if you trade them, that creates like a depth hole.
A depth hole, right?
Right. So, like, I think, just keep, like, he might not be performing to whatever his number is. I think his number is like, what, 24 or something like that. That's straight cap. That's why I think they're going to, maybe convert some of it to bonus money. And I mean, like, I think we're better with him. You know what I mean? I mean, if I don't think no other team was going to want to take that $24 million. I mean, whatever team that's going to trade for him, they have to extend him, right? They're not going to trade for him, and so he's going to have to want to play for that team.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing to me is this defense that DQ and Witt running, is it favorable for defensive tackles? Because when you look at when he was at Dallas and when you were looking at when he was in Atlanta, they had different guys being the leading pass rusher. Atlanta, when he was with DQ, had Beasley, and then Grady Jarrett started to lead on
Grady.
pass rusher.
Then you had Dion. What was his name? Deion Jones?
Jones, linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quinn had him, right? I think so.
Yeah. Then with Dallas, obviously Micah Parsons. But then you draft a guy like Osa Udura, but he's almost, to be honest with you, Osa is really similar to what Johnny Newton is. But I think Newton has a higher ceiling than Osa. So is it
He's
really
pass rusher too?
I think we need a elite edge rusher that will help the defensive tackles.
Yeah, because like and this just like Cheryl mentioned it, and it's some of the things we've been talking about is force multipliers, right?
Yep.
Like Jaden is a force multiplier. There's no doubt. There's no conversation. There's no debate. He showed you that this past year. So within his career, I don't care how he could play next 10, 15 years. We know he's a force multiplier. And he got, like, you could put stars around him for the next 5 years. We still know that he's a force multiplier. But just because you're a multiplier don't mean you want to keep giving them low numbers to multiply.
Yeah.
Right? Like, all pros can be multiplied. Pro bowlers could be multiplied. Right? So when you bring someone like Myles Garrett, like, for instance, Louisville is not a force multiplier. Right? Wagner is not a force multiplier. Sainristil, maybe he can become one, but he's not one. I mean, he's a rookie, so we ain't even gonna really count him. right? Allen, Payne, they're not force multipliers. If you get someone in here like Myles Garrett, right? Max Crosby, even Trey Hendrickson, right? You get those guys in here, they are force multipliers. They make the people next to them better. And this is the perfect time to do it, is when you can absorb this type of cap hit. So you bring someone in here like Miles, or even a top edge rusher. Like, you bring those guys in here, like you're going to draft one if they're there. We're going to get into that next week. But like, how can they make the person next to them better? If I'm spending capital to bring Myles Garrett in here, or anyone that we bring in here, can they make the person next to them better? And without question, it's a yes for Myles Garrett. Without question. He multiplies both sides of the ball, bro. But I have about 3 or 4 Myles Garrett videos. If you want to check it out, that I talk about all that stuff. Yeah, let me see. I've been saying that all season. Go get Myles Garrett at all costs. Newton gives me Ed Oliver vibes. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. We don't have a force like we don't. Like we don't. As good as Louvu is, he's not a force multiplier. As good as he is. But I absolutely think we need that. All right. So let's see. Who we need to do? Mikey. Oh boy. So I'm gonna let you stop. You start with Mikey.
I should.
Come on, bro. They are in the NFL.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I got you. All right. So I'm giving this an A. Mikey was drafted to be our slot guy, despite not really having answers at corner. We cut Forbes. We had Benjamin St. Juice. We had Noah Iganagami. He started moving into the slot. Then you have Mikey playing outside. Then you had traded for Marshall Lattimore. Mikey was balling, bro. Mikey was balling. I remember said podcaster on my podcast, by the way, said that he's not going to be able to play outside. He's too short, too small. He doesn't fit the other side. We know who you is. This dude balled out, bro. He plays bigger than being 5'9". He plays like he's 6'1". He is physical. He plays the run very good. He's an aggressive corner. He's always looking to make turnovers. He has like 5 total turnovers in his first year, 4 interceptions. 2 of them were in the playoffs, and a forced fumble. Dude is smart. He shows versatility. So imagine you get a guy on the outside, and you put Mikey inside, and then you can flex him outside. Mikey's a baller, man. He's a football player. He's a commander. I'm giving this an A+.
Trust, if you ain't AJ or Mike, I ain't worried about nobody on the outside with Mikey. Mikey was the best corner this year for us, hands down. Bro, this dude had 50 solo tackles. 50 solo tackles, bro. 22 stops. Like I said, this is a new metric. This is a new metric that you'll begin to see more and more across different platforms and whatever websites you use. And it's not a tackle for loss. A stop it's defensive stops, tackles that constitute a failure for the offense. So that could be tackles for loss. That could be pass breakups. That could be short of the first down. Like anything that constitutes as a failure for the offense, that play. He had 22 of them, bro. 9 pass breakups. And like they were going at him. The biggest thing about Mikey is he's a cornerback. And what I mean by that is when you get scored on, you get beat, you come right back like ain't nothing happened, bro. You come back like ain't nothing happened. Like that's the beginning of elite cornerback play. I can't wait, bro. Good trail, dark green 2.0. 5'9" with a heart of a 6'5". J85 was what did he say? Obvious and fell into your hand. Sainristil 60. Good pick. Frozone, aka Tootsie Roll. Yeah, man. Don't he wear him in his socks or something? Or keep him in his socks, Tootsie Rolls or something? The dude is a dog, bro. Again, Myles Garrett will multiply Mikey.
They ain't got covered for 7 seconds.
And he's a wide receiver, like by nature. So if he catches the rock, bro, remember they like in training camp, they had him catching punt returns, bro. If he gets the ball in his hands, yeah, like Mikey for you.
I want to be like Mike.
I don't think we really even talk about J9. Like, I mean,
you ever play Sonic? You ever play the Sonic games? You don't even get S. The highest is S. He get an S rank, bro. Superior.
Don't forget to hit that like button for me, folk. And I'm not even putting that on the screen, Trail. Nope.
That's nasty.
Putting that on the nope. I should delete that, Joe.
That's so nasty.
I don't even want to see that name.
Yo.
If you did 13, I might would have put it up there, Trail. All right, so.
Oh my god.
I think he did. I think he did. I think he did pretty good. He said put it on the screen.
Oh my god.
I think like I think this was a good draft, man. Right. You got 4 starters out of it. I think a regular 7 draft pick draft. I think I kind of said this last year. You should have at least 1 starter. You should have 1 heavy contributor, and 1 guy that you see that has a lot of upside. Just going off of drafts in general, like that's a great draft to get you 1 starter, heavy contributor, and someone with upside. Right? I mean, that's just what it is. You go back and look at different teams' draft picks, that's probably what you're going to get. And Ben, as though we had, 4 in the top 100, 5, something like that. To have 4 of those guys to be heavy starters, I think is an absolute hit. I think this draft was an absolute hit. All right. Let's go. No, Trey, I'm not putting it up there, bro. Quarterbacks. DT, I really think. What do you think about our quarterback? Like for me, I think our quarterback room stays the same. I think everyone that's there comes back. It seems like it's been some chatter about Mariota possibly being able to get a starting gig somewhere, but I don't know, man. Seems like he really enjoyed where he was. So. I don't know if Mariota talked about. I think he said he do want to play, continue to play. He want to start something like that at his end of the year presser or something. But if he doesn't, yeah, man. Charles said his like button not working. Check y'all like buttons for me. Appreciate it. So I think it looks the way it is. I just think it's that much hype with this team. I think you have Jaden, Mariota, Driscoll, and Hartman. And Hartman has the best PR team in the world. They told, look, wherever Jaden is, you be.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look at the quarterback room. So currently, right now, if we were to start, you would only have two quarterbacks on the roster as of
Yep.
right now. It'll be Jada Daniels, and you will have Sam Hartman on a future contract, like we did last year. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what Mariota would do. Obviously, he would love to come back, but I also think the likes of being a little bit closer to his family, him having a child with his wife, him being from the West Coast, and now Chip Kelly becoming offensive coordinator for the Raiders.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be some intrigue. They're definitely going to be looking for a veteran quarterback and drafting a quarterback if they can make a chance to get like a guy like Shedeur Sanders. But that's going to be interesting because honestly, I don't really like the vets option. Do you? Me personally, I don't like none of the vet options.
I mean, let's see who's out there. I mean, I think it's probably the same ones as last year, right? I mean, you got Jacoby, Mariota. I think Heineke is under contract. Let me see. Let's see what we got. Sam Darnold, but I mean, you probably can't count him. I think he's going to get paid from somebody. He's not going to be a backup. Zach Wilson, I don't know. I don't know what he is. Trey Lance, Jacoby Brissett. Well, yeah, Heineke. Heineke is a free agent. Mariota, Drew Lock, Andy Dalton. Justin, I don't know. Justin Fields is a tricky one. Joe Flacco, he probably only playing 5 games a year. So,
you see what I'm saying?
You got Jameis. I mean, like, I think. Hold on. I think you have. Okay, so like, backups, right? Brissett, Heineke. I don't even think Heineke's that good. Okay, Brissett, Heineke, Mariota, Drew Lock, Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston. Mac Jones is in that category now. Garoppolo is in that category now. Case Keenum is 45 years old.
Is crazy.
Yeah, Case Keenum is 45 years old. Cooper Rush, Josh Dobbs. So I mean, like, you have some, man. Teddy Bridgewater's probably only playing in the playoffs from now on. Jeff Driscoll, our guy. Tyler Huntley. Desmond Ritter. It's crazy. That Tommy DeVito, Daniel Jones. Like, bro, like, I mean, there are backup quarterbacks. Right? But I mean, the Las Vegas thing makes the most sense to me. But if they're gonna, I think it makes sense to me if they,
if they bring him in as a starter and then they developing the young guy under center.
Yeah, man, but look, Mariota is getting just as much hype as our OCs and quarterback coaches and stuff.
Yeah,
because he's looked at as a big contributor to Jaden's success. Like, this is why Jaden is a force multiplier, bro. Even on the coaching staff, even in the backups, he's a force multiplier. He's getting these dudes paid, getting these dudes jobs. But I think the Chip Kelly thing is very interesting.
Yeah,
I do. I think the Chip Kelly thing is very interesting. But at the same time, I don't think Shooter fits Chip Kelly's offense. What you think, DT? I mean, you'll know better than me. Radar, where you at, Radar?
I mean, I think the thing is Chip has shown that he can play with a pocket passer because do not forget, Nick Foles ran the offense a couple of seasons, he had that crazy 27-2 touchdown interception ratio, and he's also played with a mobile quarterback. Chip can adjust, like Radar said. We seen it at Ohio State. He played with Will Howard. But the short thing of fun, I'm gonna say comments on that. Y'all just gonna have to watch the Ins and Out with D podcast for that one, bro. But I think Chip can adjust, and it just makes too much sense for Mariota. I also think he wants to be a little bit closer to home too. Like him in DC, like he like it, but I think being closer like to California, Hawaii, on the West Coast, closer to his family, I think that just makes the most intrigue. And plus, I love the Raiders Stadium.
Hey, you know all Samoans don't live in Hawaii, right?
He do.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't watching. Well, I forgot you're not a college guy, man.
My bad.
We try to say, oh my god, I'm about to mess accurates or something, bro.
I ain't saying nothing.
Stop.
I only say that because of wrestling, right? Like I throw all the Samoan guys in wrestling.
No, he
all lived in Hawaii, but they don't. Like they most of them weren't even born there.
Mariota played high school ball in Hawaii.
Okay. All right. Trail say
Jameis though.
Not like I love Jameis, bro, but like
I just think the personality is just too much for me.
Yeah, it's too much. Like I can't do that every day, Trail. I can't, bro. I can't. Like Bridgewater, Flacco, them dudes not playing a whole season. They ain't doing training camps. Bridgewater going back to coach his team. Like he ain't doing it. Flacco definitely ain't doing no off season stuff. Say need hype, man. Nah, man. Cam Ward and Mariota. But I don't know, man. I think they want if they're gonna come up for anybody, I think it's gonna be Shooter.
Does Cam even make it that far?
That's what I'm saying. I think they come up.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders is on. Like I think I just don't know. I mean, it's of course we still got a lot of information, but right now I think the only team that'll make a move to be aggressive to come up and get one of those quarterbacks is Vegas, and that's for Shooter.
Yeah, we think he can come at too. It's just the intrigue. It's just the intrigue right there. Like everything is like pointed right there for that.
Man, a lot of these teams need some that's going to have these young quarterbacks. But it's a lot of veterans out there, man. I don't think Mariota. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, he's on a year to year. Like the rest of his career is year to year. Right. Mm-hmm. So I absolutely think he plays for a few. Like I think he got a lot of years left as a backup. I mean, he might got one or two as a starter or whatever, but he's not going to be a starter that's going to be looked to start. Right. Like I don't think he's going to have a Geno revival or Baker Mayfield revival.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
spot starter.
Yeah. So like if it's not somewhere that he's not going to be just starting for the first 4 or 5 weeks to get the rookie ready, I think he'll come back. I really do, man. All right. So besides that, DT, give us some, a couple quarterbacks in the draft that we shouldn't be surprised. Like I don't think they'll go quarterback in the draft. I don't think we have especially not with the first, second, third, or fifth round pick. I definitely don't think it'll be a quarterback because we don't have a fourth, right? So we don't have a sixth. But one of these sevens, might be in play. Oh my goodness. Look at this guy.
Man, I almost cussed up here, bro.
No, Trail. Actually, and he's still on a contract. He got one more year, right?
Man, that dude had fourth year coming up. Bro, this dude had an opportunity to play in a football game, bro, and he is everything we thought he was, bro.
He ain't do nothing in Seattle, bro. He ain't create no noise.
Bro had an open DK, got sacked. That's when I knew. Oh Lord.
You talking about how that is? We know who you talking about. Real crazy, yeah. Yeah, man. So who are some of these quarterbacks? What you think?
All right, so I have 3 quarterbacks. I had to change it because apparently someone wanted to have the same quarter. Okay, no, I had some of the
Well, he
same
ain't gonna come
quarterbacks.
on here to tell his anyway.
So I did switch it up, and 2 of these are my B quarterbacks. So first one up here, we have Riley Leonard from Notre Dame, 6'4", 216 pounds, played 4 years of college, played at Duke and played at Notre Dame, led them to a national championship. First time in a decade, had the most rushing touchdowns by a Notre Dame quarterback in school history. Now, obviously, when we look at him, man, shut up, Trail. I mean, you got no YouTube channel. Let me stop trolling, yo. Let me stop trolling. All right,
Turgle asked for the link next. But like, where do you think he's going though? I think he's gonna be gone by the time we would get a quarterback, right?
I got him day 3 undrafted free agent.
Say it again. You got him what?
Day 3 undrafted free agent.
Oh,
which is 4 to 7.
Gotcha.
Because there's some things that he definitely has to work on. Some of the things, 6'4", he's an elite athlete. He's able to run the ball. He can do some of the QB run game just like Cliff and them do. Very similar to somewhat what Jalen Hurts did in Philadelphia. Good enough arm. When he's in rhythm, he's one of the best and can process very well. And he has underrated speed. Now, when I hear some of the things, obviously, we don't really run under center like that, but when he asks to, it's going to be something he has to work on. And mechanics can be shown up with the bad accuracy. Injuries has been one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people have been kind of on him. Shoulder injury, knee injuries, being banged up a lot, and then staying on one read at many times at Duke and at Notre Dame.
Okay. What's up, Sub? How you doing, buddy? He said he's Daniel Jones' little brother.
So a couple of games, if you wanted to watch, I have Louisville, Virginia, and USC. And this is just some all 22 I have up here. But the next quarterback,
how you college all 22, man?
Huh? Twitter.
You gotta connect. Oh, okay.
Who's the next quarterback I have up there? Oh, this is one of my guys.
Oh, that's too close to Sam Howell. That's all I saw.
Talking about Seth?
That's all I saw, Sam Howell.
Nasty, yeah. So
Seth, right, tell us about him.
All right, Seth Hennigan played 4 years at Memphis, all-time leader in Memphis in wins, completions, yards, and touchdowns. This some of the season stats right here. He played in the Senior Bowl. He was one of the fruit of touchdown to Jack Beck last second of the game. Some of the things that I've seen, he could process full reads, great ball placement, has good enough mobility, show signs of throwing anticipatory throws such as comeback routes and out routes. Stand tall in the pocket against pressure very well. However, some of the knocks we see is pocket awareness can be very shaky at times. He has a gunslinger mentality, which can lead to a lot of turnovers. He has a B+ arm. What I mean by B+ arm, it's somewhere in the realm of Daniel Jones / Brock Purdy. He is mobile, but he's not Riley Leonard mobile, so he can get caught very easily. And he's also played in multiple offenses, very spread out, getting the running backs and stuff in the backfield. 2 games I watched this year was Florida State and West Virginia. And the last guy we both have was Harson Carr. Now, this one is funny because when you look at the numbers throughout, he hasn't really hit, obviously, because he's been spot starting then and there, but
you see the other dude throws like sunshine.
Who throws like sunshine?
The dude Seth, I think he's talking about.
That's so nasty.
That sunshine used to wind that joint up.
Now Hudson Carr, he is the definition of honestly like a backup quarterback. He sat around Texas starter, and then he got an opportunity at Purdue, but really didn't pull it full swing. He still started at Purdue, but he was very man. But there's some things to like about him. He has great accuracy. He has got NFL arm. He can see the field very well. He has played in multiple offenses. He's played in Steve Sarkisian offense. He's also played at Purdue. He can escape defenders very good enough with his legs. Very now, when we talk about his size does concern me a bit. His arm is okay, and still needs time. In terms of going to progression, that's something he'll probably have to learn at the NFL level. One of the games, really his best game, you see, because he's to me, I just see him more as a backup.
This dude Trail wild.
Trolling, bro. God,
Smoke was good, man.
Indiana State was one of his best games.
Indiana ISU. All right. So I don't think we take a quarterback. Yeah. Just from those guys, I don't think none of those guys warrant. I think they're all to be available, undrafted. But like, I really think that we stick with we have. If Mariota does leave, Driscoll Hartman, I think we might go young and bring in another undrafted guy. And I think Driscoll will be the backup. But I just don't. I think Hartman.
I can see that.
I don't know. Yeah, like I think Hartman's just one of those guys that's just going to be like on a practice squad for the whole life. Like I don't see him as a. Because like even in the games, he just. I mean, he
I didn't see nothing.
Fact, let me go back and watch some preseason games.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I've seen more.
He said he ain't trying to get tackled.
I've seen more from Driscoll and who's the guy we signed the last game? Played at Penn State. I've seen more from them two guys in the offense than Sam Hartman.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be shy to get another young guy.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier, Smoke. Like DT brought up Chip in Vegas. But and even a starting gig, like I think it has to be starting gig and not I need you to do this until week 6 and we'll bring the young boy in. Type thing. So I don't know, man. It's interesting. But Jaden is a force multiplier even on the coaching, even on the depth chart. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. All right, man. So like, let's switch to the kickers, right? Because I think DT spot on with Vegas. If they ain't move up for a quarterback, it makes sense. Let's talk about these kickers, DT. I don't. What's up, Deontay? How you doing, buddy? Bro,
we need a kicker.
I know, yeah, we do, but I don't want to draft the kick. Like one of these 7th round picks, even the first pick in the 7th, even 197. But the FSU guy, what is that? That's Ryan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fitzgerald, and what's the other dude? Not Ambrose. What's his name?
Kid from Miami.
Yeah. The one that
Borregos.
Yeah, the dude who won the award.
Yeah. So when I looked up their numbers, if I could pull it back up, actually.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can pull it back up.
But
we signed the kicker last year. That boy was That boy was a freak, apparently.
But he ended up, buddy. Allegedly he ended up getting off. But like, I'm okay with us releasing him, bro. Like, we wasn't stable enough to take that heat and keep him, bro. Like everything that we just went through with that type of stuff, like we ain't like we couldn't take that heat. But he ended up being a really good kicker
Trell's
for.
comment. Trell, I like Cyber. The big problem I have with Cyber is when he has to make bigger kicks, he's literally kicking into the dirt. He literally has to put his foot and scrape the very surface to kick the ball to get some power. And we've seen like a couple of games where he missed because of that.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the leg power.
If he has to do that, I need someone with some leg power, dog.
Yeah, that's his name, Deontay. And Andreas Borregales. Right, I had Trey Smack. Yeah, I looked at Trey. No, Trey Smack is the kicker from Miami. Or is that Florida? I think he's the Florida kicker. Good point. Yeah, man. That like because with kickers, like the further the kick, the longer the distance, the lower you got to get, right? And with these kickers that just don't have it, like you getting too low, you end up kicking the ground because you just don't have that power, man. And that like Trace Mike got a dope name. Yeah, the Florida guy signed him just because. So like I need a kicker, man, that could just kick that joint off the end zone on kickoffs. Like I'm tired of getting these short kicks. But okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Are you getting one of those guys with the fifth round pick?
I almost
Delonte was good.
I almost crashed out. We're not doing this again. We are not using a mid day 3 pick on a special teams player. Because you want to know why? You get guys like Cameron Cheeseman. You know what? Cameron Cheeseman was arguably the worst thing that Ron Rivera has ever done. Yes, worse than freaking Emmanuel Forbes.
He traded up for a long snapper, bro.
Traded up for a long snapper. That could have been like a guard or center or something.
Yeah, so like I don't want to either, right? Like I don't like we don't have a fourth, we don't have a like no. But one of these 7th round picks, if Adam don't maneuver them around or whatever, I don't know, man. Like one of them kickers, the FSU kid, the Miami kid, the Florida kid, like one of them dudes there, man. I don't know, man. Like I'm bro. We've been a kicker purgatory. Like, bro, it's been horrible. It's probably just as worse as quarterbacks here, bro. Man, I need me a kicker. I'm tired of talking about kickers, bro. I'm tired of talking about kickers.
Hey, look, man. I can't believe we up here talking about kickers and not quarterbacks. What have my life turned into? What has my life turned into, dog?
You trail first going to Miles, the 3rd pick going to DK.
God, boy,
so we only going to have a 2nd and a 5th and a 3-7th, bro. Like, if we doing all that, just get the kicker with one of the 7th round picks.
I'm saying, if you doing all that, you might as well draft a kicker.
Yeah,
bro.
Just get the kicker with one of the 7th round picks, bro. For real, man. Like we got the punter. Trust we ain't gonna be here forever. Just get the kicker. Just draft him, bro. Because we missed out on Bates. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I ain't gonna lie. Looking at these current picks now, AP gonna have to work some to get a 4th rounder, dog. 4th and 5th rounder.
Oh no, man. Like if he not trading these tricks to get one of these like T or Miles or whatever, I think we move out of the 1st for sure. If we can get top of the 2nd, maybe get
I would love that
2nd, 2/3, something like that.
I would love that.
Yeah. We'll see though. But yeah, man, I'm drafting the kicker. One of them. But I'm drafting the kicker with pick 197.
Just to read some of the
If
numbers.
it's FSU, yeah, read the numbers. Read the numbers.
Yeah.
Let me see let me see which
He
one I'm
has
picking.
made 58 out of 74 field goals. He is 6 of 10 from 50 plus.
Who's that?
The Fitzgerald kid.
Who next? Who next?
This is my guy. This is my guy from Texas Tech, Gino Garcia. He's 6'3". He's 67.
He's 6'3".
Yeah, he's 6'3".
How much you weigh?
I don't got his weight up here.
All right, we get that later.
Yeah. He has made 67 kicks out of 89 kicks. He is 4 of 7 for 50 plus. And young boy from Miami, he is 6'3" as well. He has made 74 out of 86 kicks. He is 5 of 10 for 50 plus.
Hold up, let me see something.
If we can just get someone that can kick a 50-yarder.
All right, so this season, right? I think those are their college career, right? This season, Andres Borregales, 18 for 19, 62 for 62 extra points, 2 for 2 from 50 plus. Longest field goal is 56 yards. Bro, I'm drafting him at 197, bro. Fitzgerald, 13 for 13. We made 40 of his last 45 kicks. Hold up. 5 field goals of 50 plus. 10 for 10, 2024. Only kicker in FSU history with 354-yard field goals, which is big because didn't
Hopkins?
No, Janikowski. Didn't he go to FSU?
I think so.
Sebastian Janikowski.
I believe he did, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, like I'm drafting him, bro. Man, y'all tripping. I'm drafting this kicker, bro. Let me see. Let me put it up here. Against North Carolina, them bums. Look at this. 56 yards. Hey, bro, come on, man.
Kicker highlights is crazy.
Look at this kick.
Kicking highlights is crazy.
Man.
It's not even a new low, it's a new high.
Huh?
It's not even a new low, it's a new high because we need a kicker. We're watching kicking highlights, people.
The ease with it. He still had like 10 more yards.
Radar.
Still had like 10 more yards. Hold on, this your dude Trey Smack. Watch Trey Smack. He kicked the mess out of this joint. Yeah. Watch his body. Look, he kicked the mess out of that joint.
Watch it.
Yeah, I still got like 15 more. Bro, I'm picking one of these dudes, bro. No cap. I'm picking one of these dudes, bro. I'm picking one of these dudes, yeah. One of them 7th round picks. I'm picking one of them, yeah.
Oh my god. I don't care,
man.
Yo, this is diabolical.
Man, look how he look. This is the Mirage, the Andres kid. Look at that. Look at his hair, bro. I'm picking him. I'm picking him, bro. Yeah, man. Like, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm getting one of them kickers, man. I'm getting one of them kickers. I'm sorry. Let me see, you got kicker highlights. When 88, like he ready to run a fly route. Hey, he that good. That guy on number 88, bro. Trey Smack booted that joint. At least we ain't watching quarterback. I like that's what happens when you picking late in the draft.
Amen.
Yep. And on that note, appreciate you. So, like, remember, man, we back next week. We're gonna do safeties. I wanted to do D line too, but I don't think we'll be able to fit that with the safeties. Maybe we can do safeties and corners. Maybe that'll probably be better because I think we're
Yeah,
gonna look at a lot of edge rushers because it's a lot of D tackles, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ton of D tackles.
Yeah, D-line is deep
Ton
this
of
year.
D tackles. So I know for sure we're gonna do safeties. Maybe we do safeties and cornerbacks next week. And just keep in mind the players that you see here, unless we're having like a sidebar conversation in the beginning, like we did with Shooter and Cam Ward. It's gonna be players that we think is gonna fit our scheme, fit our team, where we are drafting that. So if you don't see some of the like top prospects or whatever, it's not because we don't like them, but we just don't think we're gonna be able to grab them. So we'll be here next week. We appreciate y'all. DT, you got some stuff this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna be dropping draft video this week on the Ins and Out League podcast. Also stay tuned for Into the Lab podcast. We're in draft season 2. We're gonna have a very special guest. And hey man, it's draft season, dog. Like, I got the quarterback. Let's go ahead and build around him.
For sure, man. We know your time is very valuable for you to spend with us. We absolutely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love. Get that kicker.